This video as well, just before we start, unfortunately during the Plymouth horrendous scenes that happened in Plymouth, unfortunately we lost an Evertonian in Lee Martin, who was subsequently died. I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to his family. Horrendous scenes in Plymouth, it really was. And I've had a few people message me who were Plymouth Evertonians, and I can't put into words how his family feel, but I just want to say from myself and everyone connected with this channel, our thoughts and our prayers are with all of you during this really difficult time. And the positive is that at least Everton put on a show, but it's certainly not much of a positive. But our thoughts and prayers are with you, and I really do hope that you get through this as best you can, because I appreciate it must be incredibly difficult.
Paul. What? Paul?
Do you do an Everton podcast? Don't you?
I do, yeah.
Sorry, people looking at you, that's a bit too bad.
Yeah, I do, yeah. Right, I've got Paul here. Notice me just coming out of the Bullens Road there at the paddock. Paul, what you take on the game, mate?
Great second half, but first half just sort of like last season, nothing changed, but turned it around the second half. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, the thing is though, Paul, at the end of the day, it looks like Rafa's put a rocket up their ass. And you know what? It was one of the best second half performances I've seen for a long time.
They need it. Definitely my voice is gone, so...
Oh, go on, Paul. Anyway, Paul, have a good night, my friend. There we go, folks. Good to be back. I haven't got a clue what the queue is going to be like on my turnstile. Looks all right, to be fair. About 2 people there, but come on, you Blues. I'm predicting today 2-0. First goal, Richarlison. I will be back at half time for a little bit of an update of the first half. Come on! Fucking come on! Come on!
What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and Everton have beaten Southampton at Goodison Park 3-1. Felt really nice for a few reasons today. 1, we won at home, which is lovely. 2, it was a very good second half performance. A second half performance, I would say, we mostly dominated by a couple of moments for Southampton, and that was good. But what it did also show is we do need to work on a few things, and let's talk about the negatives. Just get the negatives out of the way. There were a couple in the first half. Obviously, we saw them. It was very obvious. So let's just get them out of the way before we start blowing through the positives, because the second half was fantastic. So, first half, I thought we were very slow, lethargic. I did think we had opportunities. I thought Richarlison looked very hungry, very up for it. And you saw that later in the game, obviously, when we went 1-0, 1-1, which was positive. But because we were so slow and lethargic, it certainly allowed the midfield from Southampton to sort of just pick and probe, look in between the lines, and just be a little bit more aggressive where they needed to be. I thought Gineppo was very good. I thought he was very good the whole length of their midfield, left to right. I thought he fit really well. Armstrong was very good, obviously caused problems and scored a goal, which we will touch on in a minute. And then obviously, defensively, they did okay. You know, McCarthy, for the goalkeeping standpoint, come out, won every cross. You know, put his hand on everything and got everything out of the box. You can't argue with that performance. The standout performance for Everton in the first half, I still thought was Doucoure, because he did look like he wanted to carry ball. He did look as a ball-carrying midfielder. He did look like he wanted to read between the lines. And I just felt like, you know, a few defensive mistakes in that first half where Southampton got in between the lines, let him down. Luca Dean seemed a little bit further back as well, wasn't pushing up, and our passing in the first half was horrendous. The distribution from centre-back to the attacking in the channels was really poor. I don't know how many times Allen gave the ball away, Mason Holgate, Michael Keane. We'll talk about him in a minute. Seamus Coleman. You know, it was just a case of every time we tried to get out, we couldn't. And Southampton really did a good job at hemming us in, certainly in the first half. Their goal was a clear mistake from Michael Keane. It was really poor, and I'm not going to dissect Michael Keane. We know his faults, we know his weaknesses, and we know what he's good at. Time on the ball is something that Michael Keane and Mason Holgate are not very good at. You know, we saw it time and time again from Mason Holgate last season, where he'd turn, he'd take a turn, he'd have a striker behind him, he'd lose the ball, we'd go 1-0 down, or they would score, or they'd have a chance. And Michael Keane did exactly the same today, leaving us completely exposed. Armstrong goes in and makes it 1-0 to Southampton. And I was just in shell shock. You know, 22 minutes in, we started okay. We wasn't great, but we started okay, but it was poor. You know, it was really poor. And, you know, I've had my reservations over Michael Keane for a while. And if an acceptable bid come in for Michael Keane, and I mean acceptable, we spent £30 million on him. We're not going to recoup that. If somebody offered us £20 million, £15 million for Michael Keane, I'd have no problem selling him. I really wouldn't. I was really disappointed by him, certainly in the first half. Mason Holgate does very little to fill me with any confidence anymore. I used to love Mason. You know, 2 years ago he was the player of the season for Everton, and I really rated him. And yeah, I can't say the same anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It was just something off. And when I saw the centre back pairing today, and Mina sitting on the bench, was really surprised. There's no way either of those defenders are better than Yuri Mina. They're not, neither of them. Yuri Mina is our best defender alongside Ben Godfrey. And not having Ben was a massive miss today. I think we'd have controlled the defence a lot more. I think we'd have been a lot more compact. And I don't think Southampton would have scored.
Well on everyone, trying to keep a low profile here because I don't want people to look at me taking the piss out of me, but Everton are 1-0 down at Goodison Park against a Southampton team who wanted more than us. I expected more from the new signings, Damari Gray, you know, Andros Townsend. Just don't look at him. And you know what? It's just a follow-up from last season. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. You've got Michael Keane making mistakes. When Yerry Mina is sitting on the bench, in my opinion, Yerry Mina should be on the bench for Michael Keane every fucking day of the week. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. Again, it just feels like the old Goodison. The atmosphere is flat. You know, there's nothing. You know, Pickford's playing long balls. Dominic Calvert-Lewin should be going to meet them, in my opinion. It's just absolutely fucking diabolical. Don't know what to expect in the second half. But we'll be back, you know, at full time to give you more of a match reaction. But at the minute, having a 1-0 down, it's absolutely fucking shit. See you soon.
Second half completely changed. It was almost like Rafa Benitez went in at half time and said to the lads, I'm not being funny. You haven't seen these fans in 18 months. You need to turn up today. You need to fucking produce something. And my God, did they do that. 2 minutes into that second half, you know, we're getting corner after corner after corner. Luke Dean's bombarding Doucoure, running down the channels, carrying the ball efficiently, really well. You know, Andros Townsend is sticking in a couple of deliveries and Gray the same. And we just looked a better unit from literally the moment we kicked off. And I was much, much, much happier with that second half performance. We scored 3 great goals, you know, and we'll go into them a little bit. You know, the first goal comes from the corner. It's sort of a little bit of ping pong tennis. Ball drops to Richarlison. Richarlison, he's having to slide in, and he just gets over. He just gets in behind their centre back, Moussaline. I can't pronounce his name. But anyway, he gets in behind, he gets his boot on, he sticks it top corner and makes it 1-1 to Everton. And at that point, I sort of thought, right, third goal in this game is killing the game. Whoever scores the third goal wins this game. And fortunate enough, it was us, and it was Doucoure again. He gets the ball, he plays a lovely 1-2, and it was just lovely. You know, he plays a lovely 1-2 with Iwobi. Iwobi nods it back to him. Gets an assist, by the way. Iwobi gets an assist. For his little cameo today, he looked like the Iwobinho of old. And he nods it back to Doucoure. Doucoure's got his back to goal. He turns, he wiggles, and he unleashes an absolute thundercunt into the top corner. It was fucking soaring, it was. It was beautiful into the top corner, and McCarthy had no chance, and that makes Everton 2-1. And again, you're sort of sitting there and you're thinking, right, kick on, Everton. Let's see a bit more of you. And my God, did we do that? You know, we see Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison running down the channel. You see Richarlison making that run out to the side. He delivers a ball, he whips in, and it's a diving header from Calvert-Lewin that just touches McCarthy's hand or goes through his legs. Can't do fuck all about it. And it's Everton 3-1. Good score, good result. Look, we love more clean sheets. Who wouldn't? But I genuinely think if Mina and Godfrey start that game, we don't concede today. Southampton, apart from that 45 minutes, and I want to give a little bit of credit to a couple of their players, and I will do during this video. But they looked poor in the second half. You know, you can see Ward-Prowse gets on the ball very well, moves it, manipulates it. Gineppo's very clever. You know, they've got Nathan Redmond on the bench, so they've got options. Armstrong looked a real handful today, and the lad he was playing up front with as well, he looked very decent. But I have real concerns for Southampton. Like, I really think they might struggle this season. And I want to give a little shout out to their right back. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try, but he's a very skillful individual. The amount of times he ripped Richarlison and Luca Dean down that right-hand side, or their left, was phenomenal. He's got this real ability of dragging the ball back and sort of standing on it and clipping it with his opposite foot, which there is a turn for it. There is a term, and it's something I particularly do a lot when I'm playing football. It's an easy way of manipulating the ball to a certain direction without giving too much away from standing in a forward pose, and he did it time and time again today. Really, really impressed by him. But he won't keep him up on his own. You know, defensively, in the centre of defence, they look poor. McCarthy did a decent job, to be fair. You know, Allen had a couple of shots. I want to see more from Allen. That's being brutally honest. I want to see a lot more from Allen. But all in all, I'm very happy with the performance, and I think Everton going forward, I think that's a real boost for them. You know, we're playing Leeds, who have just been absolutely walloped away at Manchester United 5-1. Again, that was a 12:30 kick-off today, and Manchester United looked sensational, by the way. Fernandes hat-trick, but Leeds looked really, really good for 20 minutes. You know, they looked really good, moving the ball around. Defensively, they were all over the place. And this is where the other style of Everton is different. We're much more regimented, we're much more restricted. We don't play that free-flowing football very often. We do try and counter occasionally, but it's usually long ball rather than neat, direct passes on the ground. Whereas Leeds are very different to that. You know, they play very nice, neat, intricate passing, and we just don't. So I think that's going to be an interesting game next week, and you will obviously see the match preview for that next Thursday. But all in all, good performance. I think getting the fans back in the stadium, you know, I unfortunately wasn't able to be there because I'm on holiday. But, you know, speaking to John, speaking to some of the lads that went, you know, getting some of the videos that you guys have sent, which, you know, I'm going to show during this video, and you would have seen a couple already. It was really buzzing. You know, the atmosphere was electric, and I'm gutted I wasn't there. But, you know, you guys had a great day today with a great result. So, yeah, all for that completely.
I need to get this. Oh, it's fucking brilliant! Cunts! Your support is fucking shit! Your support is fucking shit! Fuck off! Everton just beating Southampton 3-1 at Goodison Park. Didn't expect that after the first half performance, but listen, whatever Rafa said, you know, the players dug in, which we had to do. We knew we'd have to do that against the Southampton team, but listen, it's all come good. You know, there was some good performance in the second half. The new Andre Gray, I thought, was absolutely fantastic. Dominic Calvert-Lewin socks up. You know, what I will say is I don't see why Yerry Mina was not starting before Michael Keane. I thought Michael Keane today was weak for us, to be fair. Every time he got the ball, he worried me. But listen, what I will say is Everton are 3-1 winners at Goodison Park, you know, against a Southampton team who, you know, they've lost a lot of their best players, to be fair, today. But listen, I know I keep saying but listen, we won 3-1, and that's all we can ask for. You know, it wasn't a fantastic performance. It wasn't, by all, you know, stretch of the imagination, it wasn't fantastic, but we got 3 points. You know, we move on now to the next game. You know, we're at home now another month. Can't believe it. We haven't been here for like fucking 20 months, and we've got to wait another fucking month for another home game. But we go into the next game, 3 points under our belts, and we see what happens. Thanks, Blues. Thank you.
So anyway, that is that. Anyway, remember, get yourself a raffle ticket for the Duncan Ferguson signed shirt. They are the channel sponsors. Make sure you support them because they won't stay very long if you don't. So you would have seen in the bottom corner there is that thing there, the picture. Get yourself on the website. It's $4.99. It's a limited tickets. So literally, honestly, there is a real chance of winning this. Like, if you're going to buy 5 or 10 tickets, example, you've got a genuine opportunity of winning something here. So, yeah, let me know how that goes for you. And, yeah, I'll see you soon. Peace.